Welcome back to Dawn of Defiance, where our party has just left Cato Nemoidia after ingratiating themselves with Darga the Hutt to find out more about the Sarlacc project. Serona O'Keefe, the captain of the Banshee, has swooped you all up, a little confused as she sees you bringing a lifeless, unconscious Nemoidian, not lifeless, just unconscious, and a terrified looking Deveranian who has a eye patch and one arm, and she quickly takes off as you see a bunch of Imperial vessels swooping down towards the streets of Zara and outside the streets of Zara where the Hutt's palace is burning. You quickly get into hyperspace, and she's like, "Okay, who are these guys?" Zyle, yeah, who are you bringing on my ship?
Ship, they will not be staying long. There's some side agreements that I made with some benefactors that I have to honor, and these are them.
Okay, you didn't answer my question, Zyle.
That's it. What you're going to get.
Okay, lock them up. Make sure
Come on.
they cannot do any damage to my ship or it's coming out of your pocket.
Fair enough. Someone grab the poor guy that's unconscious there as well.
And what about this woman here? Denia limps in and sort of introduces herself, gives like a respectful bow. And she looks over at Zyle and says, "You can learn a thing or two from her." Denia introduces herself and quickly collapses onto her knees, and Serona swoops into under her shoulders. She's like, "Someone, we're getting her to a med tank, the med bay. Let's go." Does anybody want to tell me who this is?
I'm in the brig. She's a friend.
Yeah, guys, I thought we were in this together. You know that Organa. I was with you in the briefing. I'm not just your transport.
Out of character. Um, if I remember correctly, she's a part of the rebellion, right?
Yeah, she's yeah, Alderanian resistance. Yep.
She's on a contract for the crew.
Okay, so would Rivos know that she's loyal? Like, would he question her loyalty at all?
I don't think so. I mean, she was pretty much there. So she was there when that one girl on the spaceport was injured, and she was the one that picked y'all up from the spaceport. She was there in Alderaan and in the palace room where she got the briefing from Organa himself. She was in that room as well. So she's been present for a lot of information sharing.
Was she the one we stayed all the way back in the space?
No, she wasn't the. I think that was Mira or something. But she was the one that was called. That was friends with her. Who was that?
I think
Maya. Yeah, so Maya's no longer present, but Maya called her trusted transport, Serona, and got you all off that space station.
Rivos would be very hesitant to say it, but I think after a brief moment of silence,
Well, settle in, guys. I think we're heading back to wild space. You guys look like you've seen better days. She sees like score marks all up and down Beetle.
Hold on, the reason I'm not talking is because I'm dealing with my voice mod.
Okay.
But yes, we certainly have seen better, but everyone made it out of there in one piece.
I don't know about that guy you brought in. He looks like he's missing a few pieces.
Yeah, he's not important. The people that needed to come out in one piece made it out in one piece.
I mean, I was at the spaceport for 4 days, and Cato Nemoidia doesn't look good, guys. The war devastated Zara and probably every city on that planet. You guys didn't look like you added to the reconstruction efforts at all.
Who knows? Maybe taking out the crime syndicate on the planet will help. Will help with something else taking its place.
You took out the Hut. No way.
Not the Hut. But
Well, save your story for Captain Verana and the Lieutenant Gilder. I'm sure they'll want to hear more of it. And just then you hear a little ping on the console of the Banshee. And she says, "Oh, the Resurgence, they are not in wild space. They're closer than we thought. So rest up. Looks like we'll be there in about 12 hours.
Finally finish getting everybody settled into their own rigs. Make sure the doors latch and everything's sorted.
Yeah, where are you putting them?
What show is that?
There's cargo, there's guest suites, yeah.
Find a spot that's gonna be the most minimal damage. Let's see. You don't have a rig, do you?
I don't think so. Like a holding cell?
Yeah.
No, no. I mean, the Banshee's sort of like a nice luxury kind of ship. It's like a, Corvette with a pool.
We're gonna throw them on the crew cabins.
Yeah,
Uh,
throw them like that. I'll let them out there periodically.
We're gonna.
I can run sentry duty. While everyone needs to sleep.
Lock them in the commode. Let's lock them in the bathroom. It's 12 hours. You guys can manage. They'll be fine.
Okay. Serona jumps in the captain's seat. Everyone make sure you have your long rest and all your leveled up features. And the Banshee jumps into hyperspace as you all get much needed rest and relaxation. Denia in her med bay, getting her much needed medical attention. Switch, the droid unit who manages astrogation and travel for Serona. Did I say switch? I meant crash. Crash. He's always awake and adjusting levels and not much of a conversationalist. He sort of just beeps and whistles as he tends to the engineering work.
While everyone's kind of doing their own thing, I'm actually going to go gather 41 Vex and you said switch, right?
You didn't bring 41 Vex with you, I believe.
I thought he was on the
No,
ship. Did he
well,
just
actually, we tried to frame it as an accident about what happened, trying to think hit him for the destruction of the Hutt's house.
Oh, I didn't. So I didn't actually mean 41 Vex. The medical droid.
Oh,
It's been a bit.
Crash. Crash.
Crash, but no, the medical droid we got all the way back in the beginning.
Oh, right. 41 Vex. Good memory. Yeah, I don't even have 41 Vex on my actor list, so
Okay, so I'm just gonna say we didn't bring it.
yeah.
But I am gonna bring Switch with me to the
Crash.
crash. With me to the engineering room.
Okay.
Um,
I hope I know that you usually are mostly navigating, but I know I need some assistance with finishing something up. Would you be want to assist?
He beeps and whistles in binary, and he says, I'll help with whatever I can.
Okay. Well, I found a set of these.
and I'm gonna pull the set of arms out.
And he beeps in like a confused kind of way.
Well,
If you haven't noticed, these are the same arms that I was in touch with, and I need some assistance with installing them. I obviously can't do it myself while I'm powered on.
He sort of beeps in a more excited way. He's like, "You're gonna have 4 arms," and he like uses his arms and twirls around it all excitedly.
Yes, I've been slowly poking and prodding, and I think I finally found the correct wires. Maybe the earlier models were initially prototyped with 4, but I found that it happened to be extra slots open. And I think I can, with a little bit of work, get these put in.
As he looks at the arms, he says, "These are clunky. They're terrible for astrogation travel and ship maintenance. You can't even get into the small shafts where the wires are."
Well, they're certainly not going to be used for that. You may be okay with astrogation, but these arms are going to be certainly put to the test against some of our more rough opponents.
Oh, so we got to install them so they don't rip off easily. We might
We need to make sure that they're as secure as they can be, because I certainly plan on fighting with them.
we're gonna need it. Even with my hands, we're gonna need extra hands if we're gonna have to weld these puppies on.
Well, maybe we'll skill that one other engineer may be able to help us.
I know he's not good.
Yeah,
Minute.
yeah. I forget if Minnick was working on something for downtime. So if anyone's interested in downtime activities, you'll have an opportunity coming up shortly here. Anything else for 12 hours to the Prindar system?
I need to get in contact with Switch, though. Get these two Dexter's Transcom about
Sure. How would you want to do that?
Well, didn't I have that device that I got when I got these requests?
Yeah, you do have a special encrypted beeper sort of thing.
Cool. Can I discern how to use it, or is it more of a one-way thing with what you talk to me?
Yeah, you know how to use it. Sure, you're a pretty techie guy.
Great. I'm gonna see if I can use that flip the switch to find out what I need to do and come clean about failing the last bound because a certain good Jedi took it from me.
Go ahead and give me a technology check.
It's educated to come. There are things you can get to yourself.
Okay. With a 15, it turns on. You know that you have to do a little bit of extra work in order to get it to communicate outside of a hyperdrive tunnel, but you're able to do so connecting with the ship's communication panels, and after about 20 minutes of work, it pops up and you see a like a like an assassin droid. So these small kind of round heads with completely 360 swivel abilities, and it turns to you and he says, "Oh, Zyle, it's good to hear from you. I've been waiting."
Oh, I bet. There's been a exciting few days, that's for sure.
I've heard some news happening over on Zara.
Bit of a mess right now.
Yeah. I don't know much though, and I don't like to be in the dark. So,
I'm more than happy to explain to me exactly what happened.
are you in a secure environment, Zyle? I'd hate for anyone to listen in on our private conversations.
Nobody's within earshot.
Okay. Give it to me.
So, good news, bad news. Good news, I did manage to secure Warwick. He's a little worse for wear, but he's alive.
Warwick, that's the Devaranian one, yeah?
Correct.
Yeah, ugly species. Never liked him.
Yeah, he is alive. And when I hand him over, you can do what you need to do with him.
Oh, I don't know what they plan to do with him. I'm just the middleman.
Talking about RX 7246, have you heard news about him?
Yes, there's some of my folks on Zara says that he burned down the Hutt's palace.
That was a little bit of tech work inside of planting on my end, or our end rather. So,
Oh, good.
we were able to think that out pretty well. It looks like it, because you've heard about it, it looks like it's a
Yes, I mean, I think they're investigating, and from what I heard, his unit, his like black box in his brain, so to speak, isn't recoverable.
imagine that.
Yeah. So, for all intents and purposes, it seems like you've checked the box on that one, Zyle.
Fantastic. So, moving down the list, Ingrid Timos, he is currently unconscious with the Varanian. He is alive.
What cocktail are you using to keep him unconscious?
Presently, blunt force.
Oh. Is that all?
Presently, yes.
I mean, I have seen your B2 unit, so I imagine the blunt force is sufficient, but just know that he is quite resourceful.
I'll do that right after this call.
Oh, you have that technology.
So, now for the bad news. We, fortunately, found Danielle. I was about to...
Unfortunate. I'm sorry. Back it up. What did you say, Zyle? You found her.
We found her, yes.
Oh, that. Well, I thought that was a long shot.
We did, and unfortunately, circumstances rapidly spiraled out of my control, and now she is awake. And alive.
Oh. Are you sure that we were communicating effectively? The price on her head was substantial.
It was, and unfortunately, as I said, several circumstances prevented me from executing the method in my respect.
And your plan to remedy that situation.
There are a couple of things in motion, but they're not finalized yet.
Oh.
Fuck I'm doing.
Oh, Zyle. Listen, like I said, I am just a bot of information. I am in no way tied to the outcomes of these things, but I feel that I must inform you that I thought I gave you plenty of warning that taking that particular job was a bit of a promise, was a bit of a contract, and by not filling the contract, well, these things have consequences.
So at this point, I'm just like, well, I got out of a worse situation before. So I'm thinking, what if I told you that I know where she is and I can eventually finish the job? It's just circumstances kind of prevent me from doing it immediately.
You want those folks to pay you for just weeding her out, and then them do the job?
Fine, folks.
Oh, Zyle, you know how I work. Information is key. I don't just give it away.
How much you want, Switch?
Listen, let's settle up, and I'll talk to them. Maybe cool their heads a bit. I will tell you they're not going to like a Jedi Master on the loose.
No, and on the positive side, she has precious little idea of what's been going on. She seems to be comatose for the last unknown amount of time. Since the Clone Wars, she has very precious little memory.
Oh, she's been missing for some years now.
Yeah, she's been unconscious or subdued for most of it.
Interesting. What more information do you have for me, Zyle? I will take anything.
I'll trade. I'll tell you the information that you have on these alleged benefactors, and I'll tell you anything at this point.
I thought you would learn. Yes. I love it, Zyle. Listen, let's settle up first. And you hear a little ding on your communications pad with the bounty. Well, you know the prices, so if you don't want to share that with...
I have everything.
Okay, great. So you get that payment, and the whole bounty list disappears, and he says, I cannot reveal these benefactors quite yet, but trust that I am on your side. Any information about the hut?
The hut, unfortunately, is currently out of this palace when we made our final will. It looks like he's been doing some dealings with the Empire, from what I can be able to gather. Looks like some interesting work with slavers. Meaning of effectively what I learned from Operation Sarlacc.
I see. Well, we'll keep an eye as always. I have eyes everywhere.
Bet you do.
Um,
How do we get these gentlemen out of my hands and into yours?
well, I will be sending a small transport ship to intercept you. Looks like you're headed to the Prindar system.
That's the plan, yeah. Looking to hit us somewhere in the middle of it, right?
Well, you need to drop out of hyperspace in order for me to do that, but I'll tell you what. There is a dead moon orbiting the gas giant Antar, and just fly by that moon. Scenic route, if you will, and I will be sure to intercept.
Sounds great. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Stay tuned for more.
I sure will.
He bleeps out.
So, I believe I've loaded the Camilla and holding both of them. And what can you tell me about David's current state?
Igrindimos?
Yes, still out.
Oh yeah, he's been yeah, basically I'm imagining he's got some bracers on and he's just looking really worse for wear every time he sort of moans somebody knocks him out.
We're gonna go ahead and carbonite him as a double precaution. He's Jedi to live. Or force sensitive to live.
Do we really have that technology?
That was one of my abilities that I just got.
Oh, perfect. I was like
There's actually a roll for that and such.
oh, cool. Do you want to throw it in chat? I didn't know you can carbonite. Oh. I'll go ahead and... Oh, it's not letting me... I gotta fix your powers. But I will...
That's interesting. You have no available 6 level power slots.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, it's a weird glitch in the old system. I'll have to fix it. But you attempt to freeze one creature that you can see. The creature must make a con save. He's going to automatically fail that. Yeah, as it's restrained, its flesh begins to harden. Yeah. So yeah, you don't really need to even roll. He's already low constitution, so he's able to. You just see him. He's sort of like in the cuffed, like I'm imagining him against a wall kind of thing with not a normal position for this Nemoidian. He's never in such a compromised position. So.
Great. So he's alive, he's frozen, he's not going to freak out. Great. I need them both to, I give a morning friend, not morning friend.
Deveranian, he's like got one eye and he's like, hold on, with his like stump arm. Hold on, wait.
You know what? You behave yourself, and that's not going to happen, dude. You understand?
Okay, where are we going? Why did you take me off Cade and Nomordia?
Don't worry about it. It's not a big problem. Trust me, my guy. You have plenty of other things to worry about after the day.
Wait. All right.
I got freaked out a little bit. So, next step is to talk to the captain. She's going to be thrilled that I have to go make a side trip.
All right.
So, I go up to her and say, hey, I want to get those 2 rambunctious gentlemen off your ship. So, I'm wondering if we could make it.
Yeah, we could just airlock them. Is that what we're doing?
I wish we could do that, because that sounds fantastic, but I also like getting paid. So, we're going to have to drop them off.
Okay, Zal, I'm all about side gigs and getting some money here, but I don't remember Organa talking about any bounties. Is there something I should know about?
There were some money. There were conveniently the same amount of work that we were doing. I took care of it. And now, the same work I've already been doing.
I mean, that's all well and good, but now you're putting my ship, my crew, at risk. You sort of brought, I wasn't aware of this. You sort of bringing me into something, and if they're getting picked up and they tag my ship and it ends up going bad, I mean,
Give me 500 credits if you make a jump.
go ahead and roll persuasion. Oh, yeah, your modifiers won. You both rolled 16, but your modifiers beat her. She says, all right, listen, it's only because we've spent some time together, and on this ship, you've been quiet but nice, and you haven't really crossed me. But, Zyle, hear me out. You cross me, anything happens to the Banshee, I don't make up easily.
Listen, I understand. Both with registered bounties. It'll just be a quick drop off and we're leaving in 15 seconds.
500 credits.
500 credits.
All right. You transfer those over to Serona, and she sort of mumbles like, it's not even going to be worth 500 credits. That's just hardly a paint job. And she plugs in, says, crash Crash gets up there and redirects to the moon.
All right, going to the moon.
You drop out. It's only been 12 hours, so enough to have your long rest. A couple of little tinkering with the arms, but not quite. He's more sort of assessed the location with Minnick, but not enough time to really get those arms welded on.
Yeah, so that means I'll just be like, I'll be shut off for the time being.
Okay. You drop out of hyperspace and you see this sort of boring grayish moon pockmarked with asteroid hits, and before you even, like, as soon as you drop out, as you just sort of take in the gas giant in the background and this small moon just behind the moon, you see a little transport vessel. Yeah, it's actually larger. What is it, a G75 something, if anyone's interested. It is, yeah.
We're gonna hail the ship.
Okay. You hear Serona say, "This is Captain O'Keefe of the Banshee. Looking the dock up for a trading of commerce," she says sort of hesitantly.
That's good. Oh no.
And yep, there's just sort of a confirmation beep as the vessel gets close. The airlocks tighten together, and you are connected to this vessel.
Cool. Go to commode. Slam open the door. Freak out the Iranian. It's like, all right, bud. It's been real, but it's time to move on to your next adventure.
They're probably gonna kill me. This is gonna be on your conscience, man. Just, I mean,
I think I have a conscience. That's adorable. Come on, up on your feet.
yeah. The whole time he's trying to talk his way out of it.
That's nice. So I go to the airlock of justice.
Wait, it's for credits. It's for credits. I know a place. But
So I go to the airlock. So I get into the airlock. Do I see? It's connected. I'm guessing to something, right?
it is connected. You see,
Right, okay, it's not gonna die, so
Yep.
our friends.
yeah, you do see. There are some. Gosh, I'm gonna do just a species roll to see who's there. You see a handful of creatures and definitely some droids. Did I really roll a human? You see, yeah, a couple of humans. What is it? Eshka. That looks fun. Oh yeah, he looks brutal. Does anyone know what an Eshka is? I can't really show the image. Anyway, yeah, you see a variety of some looking like normal humanoid looking folks, and you see this larger, like rhinoceros sort of being with heavy weaponry, and you also see a few formidable looking droid units that all sort of point their weapons, and you hear one of them in sort of a basic language saying, you know, send the prisoners over.
Yep. Here you are. So, like, are we at this distance, or is the girl over there?
Yep, you sort of push them down the hall, and they collect them in the middle.
All right, stand by, gentlemen. Our other prisoners in Carbonite going to have to haul over.
Okay.
My ship. I go to the commode.
There's a repulsor lift.
Oh, cool. So
Yeah.
I grab the postal lift, put a firm on there, and then gently escort him to the other side. Do you want this gentleman decarbonized, or you guys can handle that yourself?
We'll take it from here.
Fantastic. Here you are. Best doing business with you. Have a great day.
Is anybody else watching this transaction? Yeah, you see the whole time he's going to get the repulsor lift, like all these, you know, alien species are sort of nervous, just pointing their guns at you down this airlock shaft. They just grunt and look at you. Their eyes get smaller. One of them seems to react to hear the name Switch, and he sort of looks at the bigger guy, and the bigger guy shakes his head, and they look back at you stone-faced.
I give him a look.
All right, and
Complete. They're back on their cover ships.
okay.
Hopefully.
They separate, and Serona sort of looks at you like, all good?
Definitely. Go ahead and we're all set here to
That was a pretty big transport unit. I mean,
I do some work for very important people.
okay. Okay. Let's continue onward. And
It's one of those things where you don't want to drop it too deep, and just get out and fight the sun. Just smell right. But I'll not put that on your reaction.
I'm glad that they left their stank in the airlock and not in my precious ship.
I wouldn't have left that for sure. I've got the reaction.
Yeah. Okay. Are we ready to rejoin with the resurgence? It looks like they're on the other side of this gas giant here.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Thank you once again. I appreciate you.
You pop over to the other side of this binary system, and you see the Resurgence's hangar bay open as the Banshee easily glides into the hangar bay. You are greeted by Admiral Nathan Gilder and Captain Adrian Verana. No downtime yet.
We got our pee to do.
Yeah, you basically had just 12 hours, so that's not downtime. Just wanted to prep you because it's coming up.
Did they install it, or are they booting me back up so I can dial into?
Oh, I thought you wanted to just be knocked out. So yeah, they boot you back up, and they just have sort of like chalk markings where they are aware of they can interface in, but you still have just 2 arms.
Okay. I'll walk up and go stand with the rest of the group then.
Okay. Among other staff, you see Captain Verana, Nathan Gilder, and the Admiral, former Admiral, says, well, how did it go? What did you learn? Is everyone okay?
A little worse for wear, but I think we'll manage. Well, I'll have to walk this through
Okay. Well, we can do a debriefing on the in the bay here, but is there anyone that needs medical attention?
Yes. Also, one thing we found in operation is some more hope. And I present to the Jedi Master.
Denia walks out standing a little taller, a little straighter. You see she still has a bit of a confused look on her face, but she looks pretty healthy. And the Admiral says, wonderful. The Empire's tendency to create enemies is our gain. Stewards, please take this. You said, did you introduce her as a Jedi Master?
Yes.
Okay. Stewards, please take Jedi Master Denia to the infirmary. Check her over. Catch her up. And technicians begin coming out and then begin refueling and restocking the Banshee. Serona says, I gotta overwatch these guys. You know how I am. I'll catch up. So she oversees their efforts. Captain Verana says, Good work. Come, let's debrief. And he hits a little button. All of your data pad dings, and I'm gonna go with this, even though it was I think it's probably effective. Alerting you each of a 10,000 credit deposit to your accounts for resupply, provisions, and other expenses. It says to each of your accounts. That was why I hesitated. You go to a sterile briefing room where it's a much smaller crowd than all the service personnel in the hangar bay, namely Admiral Gilder and Captain Verana. Okay, so you were tasked with finding more information about the Sarlacc project. What did you find? What does the Hutt have to do with the Imperials? Sure, yeah. Basically, that the Hutt trades Tabana gas for the Empire's biological resources, and it's under a contract. As soon as they hear Tabana gas, Captain Verana says, it sounds like the Imperials have caught up. Tabana gas is used mainly as hyperdrive coolant, but also it's part of a ship's mounted weapon ordnance in its weaponized form. And it's legal to buy, at least for the Empire to buy, but why did they go to the trouble to hide their acquisition as a mystery? They must be hiding something from the Senate. Something embarrassing or maybe frightening. All of your power cells have compressed Tabana gas. It's used for, well, essentially hyperspace travel, but any weapon system has compressed Tabana gas involved to some level.
So they're building a weapon or something of that nature. Because why would they feel the need to hide these transactions?
In small amounts, sure. And yes, those slaves, I that sounds accurate. We've known the Hutts to be involved in the slave trade. He could sell slaves down market for credits, which would come from his underworld contracts rather than from the Empire. Might also be bioweapons or some biological farm narcotic that the Hutt could be giving them. You think Darga what? Oh, right. Nathan Gilder pops up and says, I saw a lot of casualty reports relating to the Sarlacc project. Whatever they're getting from the Hutt, sounds like the Empire, or whatever it is, it sounds like the Empire has a lot of it, and they want to dispose of it quickly and recoup some of their cost for whatever they are doing. They're trying to hide their trail. The Empire. If it's slaves, that can be traded off the books. It can be moved. It can be... It's bulkier than credits. It's harder to track, so there's pros and cons to it. Did you witness any dealings?
Yes. We saw a small band of Imperial officers, I think 3, and some stormtroopers come in and speak with Darga directly, mostly just about the price of doing business, and then
Were they increasing their contract or decreasing?
they wanted to increase the amount of spawning gods, and Darga worked out a deal to gain more slaves instead of taking any credits whatsoever.
If they're contracting more with the Hutt, they must be cutting out smaller contracts. Consolidation within the black market suggests secrecy. You know, fewer wild cards in the criminal scum. Less open ends to worry about. Listen, this is also an opportunity. If the Empire's heavy-handedness has soured the underworld against them, then this consolidation of their interests with Darga could be a vulnerability. If we take out Darga, it could set back the Sarlacc project for the Imperials. Do you know where he went?
Yes. Oh, okay. Not that happy. Do we know where you went?
No, currently, we don't know where Darga ran off and drove off the ball again.
Nobody knows? You guys, I will tell you that you heard it just as you were entering the throne room with the hollow.
That's right. I didn't. Hold on.
And there's been a few clues throughout the time in Darga's palace. And if you know some lore, you probably know where you can find Tabana gas. Yeah. Okay, so the Hutt's giving them more Tabana gas. And, okay, it's hard to do for a mining franchise. Definitely for a smuggling op. If he's going to make that shipment, he's going to have his goons double their Tabana skim. So they're going to have to push hard. Something about that surge in gas demand makes me nervous. Listen, Cloud City is our best opportunity to crack this thing open. Darga will be there, sounds like. And likely his shipment of Tabana gas. And if the Empire's trading, maybe they'll bring the trade to him. If we disrupt the shipment or get Darga, we can deal a swift strike for the Resistance. At the very least, we have the ability to find out what's being traded on the Empire's side. Possibly slaves. Maybe something else. Maybe that will give us another lead on the Sarlacc. Let's get Darga and finish this.
Oh, he's gonna be real happy to see us.
Because he knows that you double-crossed him.
Does he know we double crossed him? I mean, he did kind of set that droid up to take the fall.
Oh. Well, maybe he will be happy to see you. Maybe you became close with him. He trusted you. Wow. You guys really are something, making friends with a hut.
Wouldn't be the first time. Some of us, at least.
Surprisingly easy. Doing it once or twice for second time, it's just kind of how it goes.
Ah, yes. Speaking of winning, Captain Verana says, our mutual contact has asked about his investments. Your daily quota euro, how is that faring for you?
That is correct.
He's just wanting to know if he trusts you. I want to emphasize that, but he's wanting to know if it's paying off.
Unfortunately, not this time. I didn't have the time to do this, but there have been losses on the account towards this contract. I've covered those losses myself against what it's delivered, but I'm not
I mean, our contact has confidence in you, the captain says, but I am a little worried. I have looked up your background, and you are heading to one of the most well-known resorts in the galaxy, full of gambling opportunities. Well, I've had family members who struggled with gambling. Well, your background, at least the paper trail says that you do.
I don't think that's it. Okay, well, that's a matter of subjective source. We'll just leave it at that before you take it further.
Oh, I meant no offense. There was a hold preventing you from access to most gambling establishments. That do you remember that?
I did win before I got kicked out.
Ah. Well, I'm sorry to inform you that, well, I will say again that our contact trusts you, but I am working with him on where that trust might run out, so I hope you fare well.
Credits. I have lost 3,000 credits in about that, which I think I'll come back if we had stayed on credits longer than not day. Register myself. I'm confident that I'll be that loss, but we'll see what that goes.
I hope so. I mean, he did say nothing of your resolve. That was clear. He has good character choices, and at least, if nothing, you have gusto.
Perhaps I like some of those factors of yours, eh?
He just sort of gives you this look and turns and says, well, Lieutenant, and they just sort of say, okay, what do you need from us? There's supplies on board the Resurgence. You can, use your credits that were transferred to purchase anything that you need for this next leg of your journey.
What about taking stuff? As Rebos just pulls out his bag and there's just a bunch of random things like a vibroax and random stuff.
We're happy to pay a small fee for anything that you're contributing to the cause. We have a stockpile of weapons. We, of course, test things to make sure that they're operable, but if so, then we will compensate, and that'll be like 10% of the cost of the actual item, if you wanted to do math on that. And I did update the party loot box, so everything that maybe didn't get picked up in various loot boxes, I just pooled together into one. So nothing was left behind, including those spices from Darga. So you're bringing drugs on board the Resurgence.
No. Hero always has a stash on hand. It's not like it's. Is there like a?
I don't have a shop set up, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, I was gonna look
Yep, I did not plan ahead for that. So if you find something that you want, let me know, and if it's reasonable and not a completely legendary item or something. You guys are level 6, so you could probably get most mods.
what if it's unappreciated? So Hero has a little chassis for
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be fine.
Reebok's just going through his things and finds a credit chip.
Yeah.
Bespin knows how to use this. Oh, and he throws it at, honestly, I think he would hand it to Exile or QB. Reebok just doesn't know how to use it. I think he would go to QB and say, here, check this out, and I'm going to cast guidance on you, so you can add an E6 to your roll for things like texture.
Actually, QB, as you check this out, you know that these things have a little bit extra security, and that if you don't know the pin number, which is quite a complex series of characters, then you need a slicer's kit to slice into it, which I don't think the party has yet.
Hey, Gord.
I don't know why I don't. Do y'all have a slicer's credit?
Oh, maybe the resurgence stuff.
Yeah, the resurgence. Yeah.
The Resurgence does, so feel free to... What are those for price? They are a specialist kit. They are 800 credits. They're just like a small little electronic pad that has some wires that you can interface into a system. So, and just a reminder that like in the Palace, you knew that a tech check could sort of let you see what's going on and if doors were open, but a slicer's kit allows you to actually open doors and interact with said system.
Is a kit like a lock pick? Does it get depleted once used, or?
I don't think so. I think it's... Let me see. Yeah, it looks like it's just something that you can use over and over. They don't really have a good description. Let me see if I could check SW5e for Slicer's Kit.
Also, does anyone use a sheriff pistol? I took it because I just thought it was like, you can sell it, I don't mind. But it's a, chat, I guess. No, there we go. Anyone wants it, I definitely just give it to them.
So, QB, you let him know that it requires a Slicer's Kit. You all go shopping around the Resurgence. Other crews and other Resistance members coming and going. You see some carrying through the halls on repulsor lifts, bodies covered in sheets of various species, shapes, and solemn members of their party walking through the Resurgence.
Yeah, so I'm interested in this slicer kit concept, so purchase one
Great.
and let Revos know. I'm very excited to run up and let him know that I've got this new toy, this kit, and I want to kind of figure this out, try to open this pad
It is a credit chip. And did you already add the slicers kit? See if you could just roll directly from the slicers kit. See if that works. And then hit that button in chat. Did it not work?
I offered guidance, but yeah, 11 to that.
Add 11? Or okay. As you tinker with it, this is your first time using this tool. You're trying to interface with the credit chip, and you just keep coming up against like a hard security block, and you're unable to get through. But you know that this is basically like a prepaid card, if you will, and has some amount of credits on it, unless it's been emptied, but you don't know how much.
So it's just like those gift cards you find laying around.
Yeah.
Figure out how much it's
Is there a phone number we can call to get to see how much credits are on there?
Maybe call it Exile and be like, human, we need help.
Dial 3 for Cato Nemoidia.
I don't think I have
Are you the intelligence guy?
I do have the intelligence, like, yeah, I'm the intelligence guy, so that we can try, but I don't have, like, proficiency in slicing right now.
I think slicing's... Oh, I see proficiency in it.
Guess. Make a tech check about it, see what happens.
Yeah, you would just not get that extra +3 proficiency. So you would just, do a d20 plus 4 for intelligence. Okay. I could just imagine you all sort of like sitting in one of the resurgence watering holes with this credit chip, and everyone's sort of working on it. Revo's, oh, plug this in here, and Zyle's like, oh, I got it here, working with that slicers kit. And at one point, there's just this little spark kind of thing, and it doesn't seem to connect. It doesn't look damaged, but you've hit a wall once again. As
intelligence makes 4 euros.
Alright, we get Euro in on this, and I just pat you on the back, give you guidance once again. I don't know why I told you. In case you get, initially.
okay. It's a d20 plus intelligence, yeah, so just an intelligence check. This is imagining that QB's lending his slicers kit to y'all. So Euro sort of asks, what do y'all have? What have you done? You know, where have you looked at? He, knowing some of his history in gambling and having won credit chips where someone thought that they can get away with like throwing a credit chip in there saying it's worth something. He knows to check for these things, and he switches a couple wires that you guys thought for sure were in the right place, and bling opens up, and you see that there is 1,000 credits on this credit chip.
You know, your tech imagery is like force. It's like powerful. Rio's is like, he's fascinated.
As you say the force, Denia happens to be walking down one of the hallways and says, "The force." The force is alive. I was told that it's dangerous to use that word.
Like, just outside of here, definitely no. So, Jeff, in the game, I just like to chat rather. She's like, don't do that.
For price?
5,000? Yeah, for as premium.
Okay.
I don't know what you want price for that. So,
Oh, you're selling enhanced items?
yeah, because I just had them. I don't really think anyone any PCs.
Okay, we'll do 50% of the low value. Since you are selling them, you won't get full price and you'll get the lower end. And you're selling them to the resistance, right?
Okay, so just basically just say like half off, or in the middle and then half off.
No, at the low value, half off. So if it says 1,000 to 5,000, it would be 500.
Okay, yeah.
How
Or
many
you could
times-
hang on to them and see if there's someone that's willing to pay more if you want. That's what we were just talking about. So when I have like D&D 5e, when you sell something back, it's at quite a lower value than what it's worth, just like in real life. So we're saying for enhanced items, if there's a range on the SW5e website, you'll take the lowest range number and then divide that by 2, and that's what you can get for selling an item. And then for regular items, it's 10% of the value. So if you have a $100 item, if you sold it to the Resurgence stock supply, you'll get $10 or 10 credits. Yeah.
There's
With 1,000 vibro axes, I think you guys will be all right.
I think I don't know how much we have in total. I guess regarding enhanced items, is there any way that I would be able to get like cross guard lightsaber? Or is that something that's just like a little bit hard because the logic of
Denia listens to you as y'all are talking about gear and stuff, and she says, "You're a Jedi. And you've not gotten your kyber crystal for a true lightsaber?"
kind of sad that this is not mine. As I have to throw mine away during Order 66. It's a very long story, but it's not private.
I see. I'm still orienting myself, but if you're on the side with the light, I can help you. But the mission to find your kyber crystal must be your own. But if you'd like, I can help you. Well, I'll again, I have to get oriented. I don't even know what planets are still safe from the Imperial presence. So let me get my bearings, and this war doesn't look like it's ending anytime soon. So, whatever your mission is over on Bespin, take care of yourself, be well, and I'll intercept you, and we'll make sure that you get your kyber crystal for your lightsaber like a true Jedi.
That would be fantastic. It's grateful to see another Jedi. It's been way too long.
That saddens my heart to hear, but that's what everyone's telling me.
It's a lot. And Revo's kind of just like, I wouldn't say he's like emotionally available to go into this topic. Just be like, he says this, just walks away, and he just starts shopping. Because Revo's is a shopaholic. So this is something that was a public tangent. But,
So just a little meta game. This whole adventure is cut up into like 3-episode arcs. So after episode 3, we'll be ending a major arc, and between those arcs, there's like many months or years between. So I was thinking I've got a couple different sort of side questy things for different character stories. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But I do have your kyber crystal in mind.
one thing that I got
Mm-hmm.
basically disadvantage on provide good sound checks. Is there an ability, like modification that I could get that just make sure that I don't have that?
I have no idea.
It's hard to find it, but
Right, is there another armor that offers the same AC without the stealth disadvantage that would essentially be easier to get?
yeah.
Or at least easier to figure out what...
Do they have Beskar armor?
Yeah, side quest. Kill a Mandalorian.
I guess maybe there's any relics of a. I would assume they maybe would try to have at least like one relic of the Jedi's, right? Because like I feel like that's what the Force would try to keep on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Relics would like be destroyed by the Empire. Would there be like I need to look up what they're actually officially are on 5e, so I apologize for that.
No, that's fine. Yeah, let's table it and figure out. Yeah, like do some research. Let me know what you're thinking, and if we have to retcon back at the Resurgence for some reason, we can do that.
How would I figure out how much a modification would or an item would cost? Because like I'm looking right now on
What item are you looking for?
the droid Duraflask plating Mark 1.
Oh, that does not have a price.
It's in
Yeah.
in the chat. It just says the rarity. So like a lot of the rarity that might.
It's a prototype. What rarity is prototype? Or what range is prototype? Okay. 5 to 20,000. I'm just thinking, you're on the Resurgence. They probably have some droid parts. So,
Well, if you actually did, if I was like reading the
Mhm.
items description and it says usually used on starship hulls. So it's the
Oh.
most cost-effective way to prevent droid destruction. So I think it's it's starship plating basically.
That makes sense. Oh, yeah, so it's just... Gotcha. And you're proficient with heavy armor, I assume.
Yeah, I'm a proficient in all armors. It looks like.
Tell you what, you managed to find this spot on the Resurgence where there's just all kinds of parts and droid parts. You see people going through, like people coming in, like bringing in parts. They're cobbling together and working on ships and such in this sort of mechanical area of the hangar bay. And he sees you and he goes, well, what do we got here? It's sort of this heavy-set guy with like a beard that goes more out sideways than it does long. He says, look at this big boy.
Hello. I'm interested in possibly seeking your assistance.
I'd like your assistance too. It looks like you could haul a thing or two. How can I help you?
You seem like you have a fair bit of starship parts and droid parts laying around here.
You betcha.
What would you have for sale?
I mean, if you're part of the Resistance, man, we're all sharing here, but some things we got to charge for. So, what are you looking for?
Um,
Hey, Lenore, come check this out. There's a B2 unit talking to me.
I'm looking for just some Duroplast plating. Nothing too fancy. I know it's probably a bit difficult to come by, but you look like you work on the ships. Feel like you may have some lying around somewhere you can get rid of.
Well, sure. I mean, you're gonna take a ship's hull and just slap it on your chest?
Well, there'll be a bit more grace to it than that, but if you want to simplify, then yes.
Are you on a mission? Are you gonna be on the Resurgence for a while? How long we got?
Um, we don't have a mission at the immediate moment.
I mean, it's gonna take me a few days to get something like that peeled off of a hull and shaped for someone like you. I could just give you the scraps if you want. Like, that'll still cost something, but I'm saying it'll be quicker. But that means you gotta shape it, you gotta cut it, you gotta weld it.
How long did we get like immediately assigned? Like we have to go to Bespin like basically the next day, right?
What is the party's sense of time and immediacy?
Well, maybe just to recover from taking some pretty big damage. Really interested in honing some of the skills, so not in a major hurry, especially if we know where Darga's going.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to get all the things I want to do to myself done.
I'll tell
If that can take a few days. It takes a few days.
I'll tell you this, that you have a sense that the Imperials who made the deal with Darga said that they wanted a big shipment of supplies within a couple weeks, and it will take you, well, I'm going to say a week, because I have here a week to double the entire output in time for a monthly shipment. So a week, and it takes 6 standard days to go from the system that you're currently in, the Prindar system, to Bespin. So you don't have a lot of time for downtime on the Resurgence, but you'll have 6 days downtime traveling to Bespin.
Okay.
So how could you start some work on it and maybe I can finish it off?
Yeah, buddy. I'll give you enough scraps. I still got to charge. This stuff's, it's good stuff. It's good whole stuff. So, I'll cut. He kind of sizes you up. He's like, "Whew, I'll cut up from a hole from one of our damaged vessels, and probably still gonna run you about 5,000 credits."
That can certainly be arranged.
All right, I'll get my boys on it. We'll cut it up and have it ready for you in an hour.
Alright. Well, pleasure doing business with you.
You too. What's your name, man?
I am Unit B2TT13.
Wow. And you're your own droid.
Yes.
Whew. Yeah. I mean, I heard rumors when y'all got here earlier that people started talking, and we're excited to have a B2 unit on our side.
Well, I'm glad you feel that way, especially with the reputation that units just like me
Bygones.
the war.
Bygones, man, bygones. It's all about now. It's about what's happening now.
Exactly. If there's anything, my primary program states that I'm built to fight the Republic, and if the Empire is just the Republic, then I'm certainly here to assist in any way possible.
Well, fantastic. My name is Grice. Nice to meet you, B2TT13. I'm gonna have that ready for you, but I'm gonna tell some people about you, so there might be a crowd when you come back.
That's okay. And for future, you can just call me Beetle.
All right, Beetle. See you soon.
All right. See you soon.
You said 5,000?
5,000. Yep, you go back. They got their whole crew covered in, grease and rust bits and torn shirts, and they're all just like, "Whoa, Grace wasn't lying." And they bring out these huge stacks of metal sheeting, and they're on a repulsor lift. They're pretty heavy, and they're still connected to some inside hole like wiring and such. So you got some work to do, but. You take the repulsor lift to Sirona, and she's like, Beetle, what are you bringing on my ship?
This is a piece of armor for myself.
Yeah, you need more armor. Okay, all right. Load it into the cargo hold. It's okay, I just emptied a bunch of stuff here in the Resurgence, so I got room.
Shouldn't take up much space, don't worry. And hopefully by the time we get there, it'll come out. So you won't have to deal with this for much longer.
All right.
I'm just gonna push it into the cargo bay.
Okay. Any other needs, questions, Resurgence?
Currently buying things.
Yeah.
I'm not grasping how augmented weapons work. 'Cause I really don't have too many things you can pick up. So I'm trying to make raw upgrades for my weapons and such outside of being broken. So I'm wondering how augments work. Do you just get an ability score or do you succeed the augment? It's kind of confusing.
Augments are modifications of two different things as well, right? So,
Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
There's cybernetic augments, which I think like there's things you can put yourself in them. There's item modifications, right?
So I think one is like enhanced items. Is modifications also enhanced items? What is the difference?
Yeah, so if you go to enhanced items and then for the second drop down menu, you just scroll down and item modification should be in there. It also has weapons. It's where I'm finding my droid customization and stuff like that.
So prototypes are probably where we're at right now, level 6, I believe. That we can use. Like the modification slots, but what's a modification that goes for 30 or is there a list of these somewhere?
There's like it values like in a range. That's the hard part to discern anything from that. It's in the I put in the chat, but there's enhanced items tools, and then there's enhanced items values, which is in range.
But if you're looking for just a list of enhanced items, I mean that's
Just that SW5e. I'll put it in.
yeah. I think it's linked already. Alden linked it. Yeah, lots of rules to learn, and this is my DM style. Is I don't really know the rules. I wait until my players figure it out and teach me.
It took me a really long time to finally find this list in the first place, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, Alden, you might be our modification expert.
So could we just say that like just from a like sense of this is just like you're using like is that something we can say like retcon oh hey at this amount you bought?
Yeah, we'll retcon anything once we learn more about mods. I'll study up on mods, enhanced items, augments, and all that. That'll be our homework for the next 2 weeks. I think actually the next 4 weeks, if I recall, it might be, that's Labor Day weekend 2 weeks from now. So I will be out. So yeah, we got a little break. So we'll study up on enhanced weapons and stuff.
So for now, I'm buying just some fire armor,
Okay.
and I bought a bunch of power supplement kits.
Excellent. What are you proficient in armor-wise?
Like
Okay.
flexing metal fiber armor is what I bought. AC is like 13. It went up a whole point. Wow.
You should get
Oh, that's
like shield generator or something like that. That probably help you.
where.
Does a shield generator take an arm to use?
It's like a wrist pad or something.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't. So you could still use two-handed weapon if you need. Oh, sci-fi worlds.
Weapon-wise, I want to get a dachi katana, Would that be on this? It's okay.
Is it in the?
Yeah, vibro no dachi.
Yeah. Wait, did you just make this? Vibro Nodachi? What is that?
It's a giant katana.
I mean, I'm looking at $2,200 price tag.
I got 16,000. I don't mind.
Okay.
How much kind of bread?
Wait, where are we finding that like list of viable items, by the way?
We don't really have one right now. Yeah, that's what I think everyone's pushing is like, what can I get out of Jeff right now? So yeah, does that Vibro Nodachi, does it have a it doesn't have a rarity?
No. I mean, you can say no. It's also fine. I don't mind. It's just a cool idea.
Yeah.
I also could get an electric hammer. Electro hammer. I like that idea as well.
Do you have at least a 17 decks?
Yes.
Okay.
Or no, I have a 16 deck, so never mind. I can't even get it.
No, yeah, it's a 17 decks requirement.
I'll just electro hammer. Is that fine?
I think so.
It's like a warhammer essentially. That has a shock property.
Oh. Yeah, that looks normal. Martial Vibro weapon. They have those there. So you talk to Grice and he's like, oh yeah, we got weapons too. Yeah, I should have made a shop. I forgot. I was too busy messing with other things.
I'm gonna assume this is a no. Do they happen to have something called the BKG? I just see it in the list of weapons, and I'm really curious.
Wow.
If they don't, fair.
What? You guys are just making me... Okay. Do you have at least a strength of 19?
Oh, you need 19 strength to use it?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I actually would be one strength short if I swapped my... Even if I like used my level up to and switched to strength, I'd still be one strength.
You guys are too hungry, finding weapons you can't even hold.
Quick question, this is the last one I have for you. There's, what if I were to get like an augmentation on like your ability score, where like it goes up by 1? They're usually about premium rarity.
There's augmentations that improve your... That sounds like a feat.
No, like it's just like an item.
Huh.
They're just like augmentation. I think you can have them. So, let's put that in chat here.
Yeah.
Yes, there's also even things that like allow you to get more proficiency in different skill checks, which is like really cool.
Yeah.
But again, maybe I'm speaking ahead of myself. This is where it
Well, I guess I want... So it's an item that you get to sort of make up how it works and it increases your wisdom?
Yeah,
Oh.
basically. Like augmentation. You know, kind of like think about if you ever played the game, like so back in the day, you could find items that like give scores.
Oh. And it's permanent?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now you have that.
Gotcha. I'm gonna say no right now because that feels like a pretty powerful thing. You guys are already very powerful, and you're higher level than the adventure is set for. Plus, it's 6 players, so you guys are fine. And I know.
I'm worried about
I am gonna try to kill you, but yeah, the more stuff you have, the harder it is for me to figure out how to kill you. Okay, so Serona,
One more question.
yeah.
Is there a way I'm looking at like casting spells like at my 5th level, at my 6th level, etc. and I can't do it?
Oh,
The weird thing. Does the game just automatically know that I can cast this at a higher level and just do it, or do I just have to manually add the modifier as I roll?
I'm gonna give you a tech casting ability, so maybe that'll. So it depends on how the thing is set up. So for combustive shot, is that?
This you said the example for now.
Yep.
So I can cast it at will and it works fine, but I don't think it makes an effect yet.
This is the scaling form. What's the scaling formula, Zach?
Oh yes. 1 second. It is.
So it's under the details of the spell. Towards the bottom, the last thing where it says power effects level scaling, and there's a certain, it's like at scale.class or something.
Yeah. So it's actually. I'm just gonna type it in the chat. Foundry does work sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's. And then if it has a modifier, you can do that mod. But.
So let's look at combustive shot. The damage increases at 5th level. So what's the normal damage? Oh, it depends on the weapon.
So what do I put that?
And there should be a damage formula.
Yeah, I see it.
So you want to use that syntax for it. That's what help you.
That's under damage formulas, other formulas.
No. This is supposed to be under level scaling. So classes, and then your class is engineer. So at classes.engineer. Oops. You might be typing at the same time.
This is the healing one, but that's.
Oh wait. Where's the? Oh, you're putting it in the. Ah.
That's where I'm looking at right now.
See, I was looking below that. Let me show you what I was looking at. And this is something I could figure out on the back end too. This is the stuff I mess with, but I thought there was like, oh, maybe I'm looking at power effects, but anyway, there's a level scaling specific one. So I think you're supposed to put the regular damage at level like 1 under the damage formula, and then the level scaling. But it might be different for power effects versus whatever else. I don't know.
It's very for certain things it works. Like for the guidance, it just upgrades in a dice, but it just starts with extra dice. So sometimes it's a bit tricky. It just depends on each one.
Yeah, I'll look at combustive shot though, because that one looks a little complex.
Could I potentially get a heavy shield generator?
Same.
Heavy shield generator. Yeah, sure. I'll just make everyone stronger. I know it. I'm too nice.
Wait, you can just buy a heavy shield generator?
They had 2.
That's fair. You're not allowing me to get to 20
The game is fun because there's limits, guys.
I was about to say, I actually did find a silly weapon that I do want to get though.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm never gonna give you guys. I'm always gonna have shops set up now.
So you cut it off, Jeff.
The heavy shield generator.
simple blaster.
Yeah.
What does that tell you now?
I want to give Jeff an opportunity to kill me. I'm not going to take this. It's fine.
Okay. The beam rifle.
What?
I have never heard of this. There's something. It's under the BKG. It's called the beam rifle, and I do have the strength to use it.
You do. Where's the rarity in all these weapons?
I literally just heavy blaster pistol on it. No, I'm broken.
They're legendary weapons. We should not.
Yeah. I'm not gonna take it if it's not there, because I feel like.
Yeah, I guess they don't have a Martial Blaster. Penetrating, two-handed. Okay. And what's the damage on that? 2d6. That's not terrible. What is...
The assault cannon's 1d12, but the thing is with the beam rifle,
Mhm.
they're the same damage, but I think they're just because you roll 2, you're guaranteed to get 1 more extra damage out of the beam rifle than you would the assault cannon, for example.
Yeah.
At least from my guess.
No, I think that one's fine. That one looks not too crazy. It is two-handed, so keep that in mind.
Yeah, so the assault cannon's been 2-handed, it's not a problem yet, so.
Cool. All right, that's it. Talk to me more about stuff that you want to buy, you greedy little goblins.
I've got a few mods for the energy bow. It's a simple blaster. I don't know what it takes to purchase a mod.
Okay, we're going to table that, though. Yep. But take note, send me a message, and yeah, like I said, we'll have some homework to do in the next month. And Serona comes over to you guys and looks at all your guys' stuff. She's like, wow, you guys really know how to use your credits. I have some news for you guys. This Bespin mission is going to be my last with you. There's other groups that are needing Crash and my services with the Banshee. So, you may need to buy your own ship soon. I think you're ready for it. She looks at QB. You're a good pilot. Find something that's quick, because I know you guys like to get in trouble. But we could talk more on the Banshee. Let's get out of here. I know that there's a deal on Bespin that you guys don't want to miss. Yeah, ships are expensive. Really expensive.
Just need a clunker. We're gonna get there.
Just when your next tournament over at Bespin, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, you want something fast. You don't want an old clunker like a YT.
I think Revo
1300.
position would be like forced guidance. You'll find right.
Revo's just gonna get ratty Honda Civic. Whatever shit. 98 Honda Civic. And like,
Yeah, you can get really into mods for ships for sure.
What's the Star Wars equivalent of the Tokyo Drift song?
So you still have a chance to talk with Denia before you go, if anyone wants to. Otherwise, she's staying on the Resurgence.
As long as she stays on the resurgence, because, I'm gonna die. They're not happy with me right now.
Revo's would 100% try to talk to her and ask her focus.
What?
I think Revo's would ask her advice on how to proceed with the balance of the force and the trying times. Even though she hasn't been in this for a while, but I think Revo's would have the insight that the Jedi Master would stay on
Rivos, I see it in your eyes. I know the concern that you hold. Who's out there that you're thinking about?
My Padawan Giovanni.
She's alive?
Even worse, she's an inquisitor now.
An inquisitor?
Think of it as if Sith had governmental backing.
You mean they just hunt down? Is this the Order 66 people? They had inquisitors kill all the Jedi?
Yes and no. First, it was the clones that got programmed to kill all the Jedi. But, you know, in order to keep the Force down, any Force-sensitive person was killed by these Inquisitors, turned Padawans and Jedi alike into New Age Sith. Terrible.
You do not need to hold the guilt of what happened to your Padawan. And you don't need to save her.
If I don't need to save her, what do you want me to do?
The Force will guide you, but all I know, and I don't know much, having waken up in this new world, but what I do know is that you are holding a lot of guilt and, dare I say, fear. Rivos, let the light guide you. Trust in the Force. We don't have all the answers, only the Force does. It will guide you. May the Force be with you.
After that interaction happens, I'm also gonna walk up to her, and I'm just gonna look at her and say,
I hope you know that this proves that none of our sides were right. We all got used. And no matter what we are now, and what we were then, we're all against the same enemy now.
She nods. She looks at you. She really looks at you. You're actually used to people sizing you up, maybe looking away from you. She really takes you in, right into your eyes. And she says, there's something there. Have you been experiencing how your kind might say malfunctions?
I can't say that I've been experiencing any malfunctions since my reprogramming by Timo. I've been able to choose my own path.
I hope so. And she sort of just gives you this look that she's not quite certain she believes you 100%.
By the way, I know that my decisions have been my own. And if I was still a threat to you, I I probably would have attacked you right when I saw you. So the fact that that was not a part of my directive at that moment, I think says what it needs to say.
Oh, yes, Beetle. I believe that you are your own droid. I sense some part of you that may be under the thumb of another. But I'm still waking up, still getting oriented, perhaps. My senses are off. But I know there's good in there.
Well, I'm sure you'll be able to see as time goes on, and if you decide to stick around here, we'll know for sure, won't we?
Yeah, you're sure you haven't had any malfunctions or times when you maybe lost time or felt out of control?
He kind of thinks back to the time when they were on the in the prison, and the Imperials sent out like a frequency or something. I don't remember exactly what the details were, and he lost control, but he's not going to tell her that.
No, I can tell you with confidence that there hasn't been any time like that.
Good. Good. We need you on our side. 100% on our side.
Well, I can tell you that will be the case, and that will continue to be the case until this empire, republic, or whatever you want to call it, is no longer any threat to anyone.
Well, Beetle, good luck on Bespin. May the Force be with you.
He just nods at her and then walks off.
All right. Sirona's chewing her gum as she sees y'all making your way to the Banshee. All right, boys. Last ride or die. All right. Y'all jump in the Banshee. Say goodbye to Captain Verana and Nathan Gilder. And zip off away from the binary star gas giant system. And slam through the portal, through the hyperspace, and making your way to Bespin. 6 days of downtime as you all settle in. And yeah, what are some downtime activities happening?
You tell us what the area.
You're in hyperspace.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, you know, so bright blue streaks of light all around you.
Well, first things first, taking I'm going into the back and taking a minute, and we're gonna get those arms finished installed, getting installed first.
Okay.
You talk to Euro about getting do that later.
He's not using Cyberpunk to test yet. Right. And
No.
see if it's all fine.
Nah, I'm flush with money right now.
Beetle, did we have a check for that? Do you have?
I don't remember what the total amount was for a feat, because I know you have to get a number. But I know I only had 2 left up until I got that point, or until I got that modification. So.
Oh.
What do you need to roll?
I don't remember, but I thought I put it in your biography, but I don't see it. Bummer. I wonder if I go to the old sheet. Hold on, Beetle, your sheet might look different now. Nope. Okay. That's okay. We will figure it out. So you are using, so it's technology. You're gonna have Minnick helping you out, and we needed successes. Gosh, I don't even remember, guys. If anyone remembers what I did for that, but I think you had to give me 2. You're just standing there taking it with your arms up. You're not really doing anything. This is a Minnick check and a crash check.
Yeah, I was like, this is not me. I've like shut off, and I'm basically on like a table.
So I'll tell you what, since it's 6 days and you only needed 2, I'm just going to say that you were successful somewhere in those 6 days, or Minnick was successful and Crash was successful. And they power you back on, and you seem to be able to, it's like weird at first, like when you wake up, it's like opposite of phantom limb syndrome. It's like you have these networks, like a drive on your computer that you didn't know that just sort of popped up. It's like, yeah, this new network that you send signals down, and your arm jerks in a way, hitting your other arm at first as you learn the signals and the constraints on them. And Minnick sort of does this Jawa chirp at you. Try it.
I just kind of like, I try and like lift up the first set of arms, and then I try and like throw some like basic punches with the second set, because it's just like one, and then right under there's just two like holes that basically been carved out for a second set to just come out.
And Minnick is super excited to see you just go with like 4 arms coming at. You are quite the formidable force. Nobody else has seen you yet, as you're still back in the engineering bay there.
Alright, well, I guess, do I still have time to do anything else, or am I...
That's going to be your downtime.
Okay. Gotcha. And then with the armor, I'm assuming I need to use that time to get that put on as well.
Oh, right, yeah. That's gonna take some extra time for sure. And I also want to make sure Minnick is here if he's going to use his downtime. So yeah, we'll hold off on the armor. That'll be available in the future. And then we have Zyle and Euro, who, after a day or so, you guys are doing something.
Alright, so you got, huh?
Yes, but from one of my better parts, that to carry out part because it's only 900 carry forward, right?
Unfortunately, so total proceeds minus the D4 we had to pay was about 4,000. Well, what was the percentage for you again?
20%.
20%?
Look, in case we come across the checkpoints,
All right.
And it goes into making points of expected rate. That is not expensive. It's got that protector.
Okay.
I still have 15K, so I'm not repulsed by it, honestly.
QB's got 6 days of downtime. What might he be up to?
QB's just kind of observing pilot. Of course, we're in this hyperspace, so not much going on.
Yeah, Serona just sort of taps the console, says, "This puppy's on autopilot. Think you'll get something like this when you're off on your own, QB?"
I'd love to. I think maybe we should just buy this from you.
That's very funny. Very funny. No, she's coming with me. But
Do you know anybody who's got any good ships in the
well, you can always talk to Captain Verana or Bale Organa. They've got a fleet that you can get some for a decent price, but they are expensive and upkeep's expensive and fuel is expensive. So, save your credits. But I think you guys will do all right.
Maybe we can take some of this gas for our fuel for our ship.
You want to take my gas? Oh, Tabana gas? I mean, it goes through a refinery process and gets. I mean, it's quite dangerous, QB. I'm sure in your time they probably haven't had much experience with the actual raw gas.
I'm sure maybe all the intelligent people can figure it out. In the meantime, I'll keep working on my piloting skills.
Yeah, maybe stay away from engineering because that's quite a process. I don't know the first thing about it. I just know that it's quite dangerous. But we are headed to Bespin, where you may be able to see the process firsthand.
Yeah, I can't wait. I think I might buy a Vespa.
A Vespa?
Yeah, it's a little small bike. So, yeah, QB would like to focus on some things. It's difficult because there was a feat I believe I was looking at a while back, which I don't believe is of any help now. I'm not sure exactly, but I believe I was trying to get me to.
Oh, I think we were. Yeah, I don't know where we put that in notes, but I think you were on your way.
Yeah, because I had missed that prior session, and we played catch-up role, and I remember all that.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good progress towards it. I believe it was the armor expert.
Okay.
So I guess I could do raise my constitution score if I do succeed, for example. So I think I would like to continue working on that, and I'm thinking that I'd be working with Revos since I've been in this mission with him.
Yeah, I definitely am.
Yeah, so I could imagine you working with him, and at first it just, is just doesn't fit an Ewok quite well, and you try to walk around with it and stuff. Let's call it 6 days, 6 checks, and I think I'll let it be. I mean, heck, I'll give you an option of strength or. I feel like it's a strength check because it is medium armor. unless you have another justification. Of course, he's going to try to shoot for dexterity.
I mean, I figured it would be that or dex or constitution.
For AC?
As
I'll let you use Constitution.
yeah, 'cause I use dexterity for my
Oh, I guess that's true. It is Constitution for AC, isn't it? No, for dexterity. Sorry.
I just imagine though, you try to put on my armor and I'm 8 feet tall. How are you gonna feel?
There's a baby who wants to take one.
Still 5 feet tall.
All right, I'll let you do Dex check. You get 6 d20 plus your modifier. I imagine you'll be successful, but we'll see. You can just hit your, yeah, or you can just roll from dexterity 6 times. Oh yeah, you got a nat 20. Oh, you did it a little differently. That's okay. Let me see. 10, 17, 20, 14, 18, 18. Those are really good rolls. So yeah, you're definitely able to figure out the medium armor thing. And, you know, you have your own sort of ways of dealing with its size and how it lays on your fur and stuff, but you managed to become proficient with it.
excellent. So then the rest of my time, I'm looking at, customizing my armor. But I've been holding on to this mesh armor that's been putting for quite some time now. And so I'm just kind of weaving some, some different instances of enemies we can kill to have perks, or maybe feather to go with, my armor.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what I spend the majority of my time on.
All right. To fit right? Yeah. Does that mesh put you up to 18, or does that mesh put you higher than that? Oh, I see. It's not enabled or equipped. Huh. That's... No, I added your proficiency. Oh, wait. There we go. Now you're proficient. Did that work? 13. Max dexterity modifier is 2 for mesh armor.
Well, I guess I should have done some more research,
So you're like, yes, I'm good with medium armor. You put it on, and it's like got more gaps in the sides than your other armor. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, it looks like mesh armor has a max dexterity modifier, but that might max 2. So, but we can always retcon that if you find a different medium armor that fits the bill. So, anything else before we actually move on? This is that medium in between episode.
I'll do some more.
I gotta do this thing because y'all made it. Y'all made it to episode 3. Could everyone see that? Yes. Okay. Criminals and gamblers, y'all are gonna fit right in. All right, the Banshee slams back into real space within the Bespin system, and Crash sets a course for the misty white cloud giant shining in the distance about the size of a marble. Serona picks up the message to spacers immediately. Welcome to Bespin, home of Cloud City. Please select your destination on Bespin to contact Spaceport Control for permission to land. Serona navigates the menu. The automated voice continues. This is a message from Cloud City Space Traffic Control welcoming all spacers. Your tourism is important to us. As a result of heavy tourist traffic from the Sabak tournament, each ship will be assigned a landing priority. Then a live voice interrupts. Cloud City Space Traffic Control Guild to the Banshee. Our system sensors read you on approach to Cloud City. Our secure cred link is now open to directly prepay docking fees if you wish. You see a little 100 cred fee blinking on Serona's secure comm screen. Oh, thank you, Euro. If you guys don't remember Bespin from the movies, there you go. Thank you, the Banshee. As a result of heightened security for the Sabak tournament and an especially rich Tabana packet, our hangars and customs inspections are backlogged. I'm checking on your landing priority here. Okay. Looks like we can park you in about 12 hours or so, give or take. I'm vectoring you to a parking orbit. If you need to stretch your legs, I can send you to a parking barge to await your turn in sequence. The view is quite nice. There's another pop-up on the screen that shows 20 credits for the barge, or not. Or you wait it out. Or something else. Yeah, Serona just goes, I mean, yeah, we can. They're just... We're going to either wait in orbit or we're going to wait on a barge. It's not... It's like... No, it's not good views. It's just a holding cell. So what do you suggest? Yeah. Good luck. Do you want me to call out? Yeah, I don't know about these. Okay, go ahead. Banshee, I hear you loud and clear. Not at this current time. We got lots of ships coming and going, and of course everyone wants to drop off passengers. Drinks and a donut might help. There's other things that help. What do you think there, the Banshee? I got a price in mind. We'll see if you meet it. See you in orbit, Banshee. He comes back on. The Banshee? I thought I might have heard you say passenger. How many are you holding there? I mean, there's... he's just role-playing 5. The Banshee, you may not have been to Cloud City anytime recently. We're hosting a big tournament. We got a lot of folks coming here, a lot of high rollers.
You know you're talking to like that. Would you please just name a price that I can beat it? How about that?
Well, you keep lowballing me, and it's insulting. You're gonna have to sit with your insult.
Pass.
And how many you got?
I'd have to pay 200 credits for you to pass these passengers.
Let me see what I can do. It goes off. You see another ad sort of pop up. Welcome to Cloud City, home of the Big Sky and the famous Cloud City Sabacc tournament. Whether you're playing in the big game or joining in the tournament festivities, the Sabacc Week celebrate. And he cuts back in. All right, the Banshee. We can get you in the platform F1160 immediately for landing and your customs inspection. There's heavy traffic, so please do not deviate from the assigned approach path and coordinates. Do you understand?
Do not deviate. We get an arbitration for this.
And real quick business to take care of, and you see little 1,200 credits pop up. All right. The approach path is unlike arrival on most other worlds, taking you on a beautiful tour of the city, obviously meant to show off the planet's wealth and various points of interest. The air traffic is indeed heavy, and amid the transports are yachts, cruise liner shuttles, and you see a cloud of rough-looking mining tugs and industrial droids streaming up from a swirling, dense cloud bank. Sliding between two gleaming white and chromium buildings, you find a circular landing platform, one of several branching fan-style from a common trunk high above the concourse. An open-air skiff glides to a stop at the graded junction of the platforms, joining a second one that is already there. A third one is hovering nearby. By the time you disembark, the blue uniformed customs officials are at your platform, though they bear no imperial insignia. They are waiting for the same self-assured arrogance. They are awaiting with the same self-assured arrogance that agents of the Empire always display. Hands clasped behind their backs, noses high. Behind them on the other platform, you hear an argument about regulations between some officials and a Zabrak visitor. Officials are gesturing to an object they pulled from his baggage. But with the disinterest of a man who has done this 100 times a day, he flicks his data pad and begins. What is your port of origin? Serona chimes in. She goes, Naboo. We picked him up in Ryloth, but Naboo. And we sort of take notes, and he sort of looks at you. And your intended purpose for visiting?
Helping him win tournaments.
Helping him with tournaments.
The Sabacc tournament, okay. Are you bringing in goods or equipments for non-personal use? Now, I will speak this once and clearly. My words are stern, and our policies are stern. No. He glares at you as some of the other security folks kind of. No lethal weapons of any kind are allowed on Cloud City. You may leave your weapons on board your ship, but this bay will be subject to a customs seal which will prevent opening or access to it during your stay unless you schedule another customs inspection. For personal security, you are not allowed anything other than small weapons and stun batons. For your own security, all visitors are required to be subject to a personal search. I am required to tell you that the penalty for discovery of weapons after the forfeiture opportunity has elapsed is to have the weapon confiscated and the perpetrator removed from Cloud City. Looking over your shoulder to the other landing pad, you see the Zabrak captain escorted to his ship as two wickedly angled combat cloud cars hover expectantly. One of the wing guards twirls a blaster in his hands as the crew loads into the skiff and the yacht powers up its engines. In accordance with Imperial edicts, your ship will be inspected for contraband and proper permits. Please have ownership and licenses ready.
That's all part of the problem. So, sorry, you said small,
For personal security, small weapons and stun batons.
So no blast. The short version of that is.
No blasters. This is Cloud City. We are civilized here.
my license disagrees with you, but
So, no, he pulls out the electro hammer. It's like 3 times the size of the top. So this is a personal defense weapon, I swear. It's just a little bit bigger than normal.
Just to clarify, I did not go out with them.
Okay.
Since technically me existing is contraband, so
that would be problematic.
And Serona sort of steps up. I am not letting you search my ship. My ship is my home, and nobody steps on it unless I okay it. The Wingguard Customs. Ma'am, regulations allow us to board and search. It's not your place to tell us what we can do on Cloud City. Don't ma'am me. I'm less than 10 years older than you. Nobody tells me what to do on my own ship. And they start to argue a little bit more as you guys are watching the scene. You see, actually, roll perception. Everyone, group perception. Well, those who are outside of the ship.
can I be looking down? I just get what you for?
Yeah, sure. You could sort of... These are not great perception rolls. There's so many ships flying around. You see that smell of Tabana gas coming up from Bespin. Yeah, Zyle, what are you doing on the hangar bay on the landing platform here as you notice almost nothing? It is actually quite beautiful. Like Cloud City's beautiful, but like what draws your attention is like the orangish clouds that just it's like perpetual beautiful sunset. Rivos, however, notices that this same spiel's going on a platform in a different place, like off a little bit lower than where you are. They don't look like any special kind of nobility or anything, but you see this sort of arguments happen, and you see this guy hold up his data pad, and the security guard's data pad lights up briefly, and he nods, and they walk away with nobody entering their ship. So there's 3 custom agents standing as one of them's arguing with Serona, and then 2 others standing behind them. You're looking to waive the needless inspection, huh? Yeah, that would be really convenient for you as he sort of holds his wrist pad, data pad up.
What is the cost for expediting the process?
Oh, right. Expediting the process. We have an expeditious process. What's the cost for expediting the process? The other guy sort of looks at him. He's like, "What's the offer for expediting the process?" Double it.
Listen, there's a difference between
Roll persuasion.
Got one extra point for me. I tapped you on the shoulder, gave you guidance.
He was prepped for it. Oh, you fixed it. Good job. Oh, look at that. So he's the guys sort of listen to you and they say, "Yeah, he's right. Extortion's bad. Okay, yeah. 1,500 for the 500 for each of us, and we'll expedite the process." And Sorona's still arguing with the other guy.
That should be done now. Pocket diddling is another.
Oh, yeah, of course. Well, we don't have to board your ship for inspection, but unfortunately, no amount of service fees can cover our obligatory duty to make sure that no weapons enter Cloud City.
As I understand. Shall we, gentlemen?
Are you ready for your personal searches as we forego the search of the vessel?
I suppose.
So you're left to all. Left that
Okay.
Yeah, Rivos definitely left the electro hammer very upset. It's a bigger personal defense weapon, but he also, as soon as he gets close to the security checkpoint, would give guidance to himself to conceal his lightsaber. Because I get advantage on it already, but since lightning check
Okay. So you're giving yourself guidance on this check. One second. All right. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. If they catch you, they are confiscating the weapon and escorting you to the Banshee.
you know what?
It's up to you.
Live life on the edge.
All right. So stealth or sleight of hand.
Role playing wise, though, it would make sense for him to use the lightsaber with contraband. Obviously, I think very logical.
Yeah,
Just get America.
yeah, absolutely. You see the seriousness of them. You've already seen someone be escorted off of Cloud City for trying to bring something in. The biggest things that you've learned is obviously the Sabak tournament, but also credits can accomplish anything. But security is also tight here, maybe tighter than Euro remembers from his last visit. Okay.
What a micro dagger consider a smart.
What's that?
Micro dagger consider a smart.
Yep. That's
I can bring that.
right. I mean, probably don't flash it around, but yeah, you can sneak in.
Go ahead. But if he's thinking, I will put the blaster and my power cells side.
In the Banshee?
Yes.
Okay. Oh yeah, this is a high security area. This is TSA zone. This is yeah.
Could I use guidance on perception? Is that possible?
I don't know. What's guidance say?
Possible. I have D6 to ability check.
Sure. Are you trying to perceive something?
I want to see security.
Ooh.
See if there's any like like if you're of certain like economic structure, you get like preferential treatment, things like that. I just want to see if there's any like abnormalities in their security process.
Sure. Go ahead and roll perception as you check out this security. Oh, I see. Yeah, it's just pretty chaotic. You're not quite sure. You're also a little overwhelmed, sensory overwhelmed with all the things going on. But yeah. You can't tell. So once one of the security guards tells his friend who's arguing with Serona, hey, we're taken care of. We don't have to search their ship. Serona just sort of looks back at you all and she says, I don't trust them. I'm staying with the ship, with Crash. I guess we're going to be moved to a holding area. We don't just get this landing platform forever, so I'll be somewhere.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, before they left, I'm gonna just make sure they have a comm link.
Mm-hmm.
To access us.
Yep, and essentially you're escorted through the city to like a parking garage. Big old hangar with a bunch of ships. Serona says, what's your plan, Beetle?
My plan is to hopefully call them over and I guess try and get out of here.
Just walk around Cloud City?
Well,
I
I know I can't walk around. I can't walk around completely,
Well, I mean, there's
exposed, but
it's not an Imperial occupied planet.
well, if any guards see me, they're gonna understand what my primary function is. But
Can you?
hopefully we can have a better idea of what the guard situation is after.
Yeah, can you like take off your wrist blasters or take off the power cells to them? I don't know how you work.
I can take the power cells out, but asking me to get rid of my blasters would be like saying you gotta take off a leg. It's not something I can necessarily do.
Right.
Just without some difficulties.
Yeah.
But if I'm already gonna sneak in, it may not matter if
She just starts to she just starts to giggle. She's just like, Beetle, I don't know that you can sneak in anywhere.
who knows, maybe we can, I'll have to, I'm not sure. We're gonna have to figure something out though.
Okay, yeah. Meanwhile, the rest of you going through security, you get searched. Nobody has anything that they would need a check for, from my understanding. Okay. You get through the other side of security. There is a little transport train, and you catch a train to the Grand Strip. You see a massive, clean, open-air plaza that's lined with shuttle trams and air cars with pilots and a forest of streamlined information booths crowded with excited vacationers. Behind them rise the finest casino hotels and restaurants. It's a bright day with tattered white and coral pink clouds with breezes just cool enough and has a slightly sweet smell like rain on permacrete. Skiffs, cloud cars, and droid fan jets whine softly in the sky. The place feels much bigger than you thought from the air. The smooth, metallic sides of the city made it difficult to judge perspective at a distance. There aren't many hard edges. The buildings are soft permacrete and metal. There are beautiful gardens, spectacular fountains, art, lights, and music as far as the eye can see. Nearly all the windows are retracted and catching the warm breeze. There are a lot of people, mostly human, ranging from extremely well-dressed to young casual couples. Sometimes you see a close knot of Ugnaughts gibbering to each other. The atmosphere is one of buzzing anticipation. The Tournament Week celebration has drawn visitors from all around the galaxy, and many of the nightclubs and hotels are advertising feature entertainment. You see no visible Imperial presence here, not even recruiting posters. But you do see that you are rarely far from the blue uniformed wing guards. Somewhere out there, under it all, is Darga the Hutt.
It's a thing that just made that.
So something I wanted to do for this episode was to make all maps 2D with the option to go 3D. So on the left-hand side, with your person selected, and then the little cube-looking icon should toggle it to 3D mode. It may or may not be smooth. This is just not like a fancy map. This is just me playing around, but yeah. And I don't think you guys can walk around because there's like an invisible wall that stops you. So, you're let loose in Cloud City where the buzz is a-happening. I feel like timing-wise, we should probably just end it there, but what do y'all think you might do?
Well, the objective is to find Darga, correct? So, good question.
Get
Some people would find out that in school
yeah, that works. I think we should personal defense. Attack Darga.
that's just kind of, hold on. Describe that to me.
So, like, obviously we have our batons for self-defense, right? But, like, Darga attacked us, He's always been trying to find us and attack. I know he attacked me, so.
Gotcha. So maybe we should prioritize trying to get to our ship and get people off it.
Yeah.
It's like rabbits. It's summertime. He's so electric.
Well, that kind of works as well.
There's got to be like underground, like an underworld here. So
I think I'd probably use my agent status and try to see if I can find any other agents in the area that would be able to lead us, at least give us some direction.
Sure. Remind me your agent status. That's your background?
Yes, that's my background.
Gotcha. So as an agent, you know about factions and organizations, listeners, rumor mongers, smugglers. Okay. So what does this tell you? So badge, 2 of your choice, yada yada yada. So yeah, like tell me what QB would do to sort of try to find folks like that.
Well, being an agent and knowing that a lot of times there's some type of a badge or emblem, probably walk around by himself so as to not be, intimidating to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Expecting him to discuss anything private. So probably find the local tavern first and see if there's anyone that might be donning an emblem or a badge or a subtle badge somewhere on their belongings.
You see a human male with short black hair, a vest that's sleeveless with the neck collar pulled up a bit, and he's sitting alone and sort of checking out the scene. He sees you come in, and you see him scanning, and he does have a necklace that you recognize as affiliated.
So I'll walk in the room and I won't approach him right away. I'll probably grab a drink and sit a couple tables away in his line of sight and just kind of like maybe literally 2 tables away.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of give him an eye every once in a while to see if he spooks and runs away or if there's any kind of interaction that would make it seem like it'd be okay to approach him.
Yeah, he sort of nods to you as he goes back to his drink. He doesn't see you as a threat at all.
So I'll probably finish my drink and then get up and go walk over there and pull the chair out, climb up the chair to sit on it.
He sort of smiles. He says, "Little one, what can I do for you?"
I'm not sure if you'll be able to help me, but I recognize you're one of us.
One of us.
Yeah, your necklace is, although it's subtle, it does indicate a little bit of some secrecy that I do recognize. And us agents, we have to stick together.
How can I help?
Have you been around this area for a while?
I've been in Cloud City for about 3 weeks now.
3 weeks, huh?
Yeah, I like to get in early before the hustle bustle, and now all the tourists are here.
You mind with the group, or what are you working on missions?
Listen, little furry buddy, I get it, agent to agent, but I'm not exactly gonna share my whole thing with you.
Okay, I understand.
Of course you do.
Just a little test.
A little test. I like that because you're little.
I might be little, but certainly
By the way, he's talking to you in Ewok the whole time.
okay. I didn't think about that. Thank you.
Yeah. He just. You maybe even tried to. I don't think. Can you speak any other languages?
I did take one of my. I do have Bespin.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Can you actually speak it? Or do you just understand it? It says you speak it. So, yeah, if you walk up and speak to him in basic, he just switches to Ewok right away. And this, he even says, like, this will be less listeners, he says.
So there's a comfort level that's been brought up. Have you noticed any particular presence of huts around?
Huts? No, I have not seen a hut on Cloud City. They would stand out. Is there a hut here?
We're trying to find out.
Yeah, I haven't seen a hut.
Do you know of any hiding spots or any types of areas? Have you been to Cloud City often?
Are you new here? This place, oh my gosh. Okay, well, let me tell you a little bit about Cloud City. You know, these Ugnaught engineers have built this beautiful thing, and they found a pocket in the atmosphere of Bespin, where the underbelly of the city, and most of the city is inaccessible by citizens. Like, there's something like over 300 levels, and the underbelly in most of the levels are all to harness the natural gases of Bespin. And we, with the magic of engineering of these little porcine buddies, I tell you, we are at the perfect elevation and distance from the planet where we get to breathe this air and look at this beautiful sky. Now, Cloud City's huge, and we have access as citizens to maybe 50 levels. I haven't really explored them all. I like to stick to the beautiful scenery rather than get down into the darker parts of the city where darker folks are, I think. But smells down there anyway. I've been down there once, and it's just not very pretty. I like to look at pretty things, but yeah, not all the greatest parts of the city are below. In fact, all the wealth, all the high rollers, they are in the uppermost parts of these towers.
You're saying that it might be smarter to look, if we're looking for somebody of great power and wealth, we should be looking up instead of down.
Just saying, all the high rollers get the executive suites, top level, beautiful scenery. Good luck, little buddy.
Any safe houses in the
There's a lot of safe houses, there's a lot of casinos, there's a lot of resorts. Anything you want here on Cloud City. And he leaves. The waiter comes by and asks you to pay for his drink that the man indicated you'd pay for. We're going to end there as I just have a little fun with Steve.